Another fun matchup in the ACC. This time, Boston College rallied late to beat Notre Dame. The score 70-63. This is a team with Notre Dame that we thought was going to be a lot better than what they're looking like right now. Now go to 8-7 on the year. The same record that Boston College has. Boston College isn't a team we had on our radar. I'm not even
No.
sure if we still should have Boston College on our radar, but this team looked really good. Jaden Zachary scored 14 of his 18 points in the second half to really get Boston College over the Fighting Irish, Steve.
If you had told me that Notre Dame would be winless in ACC play at this point, I would have found a way to get as much money as I could and bet you that that would never happen. I mean, I don't understand it. We were just wowed by how well they played in non-conference play, and I don't. You watch the games, and it just seems like they just like this one they folded late.
Yeah.
They led until like there was like 3 minutes left in the game, and then they just folded and lost by 7. That shows you how bad the fold was because they had the lead up to that point and they still lost by 7. Sometimes it's early on they can't hit their shots. So I have to admit I'm getting a little concerned about Notre Dame. If they seriously have hopes for an NCAA bid at this point, I mean, literally, okay, it's January. This is in danger now. I mean, they're actually now in danger if they can't start winning some conference games of being an NIT team. Not that that's a terrible thing, but I mean, we all thought Notre Dame would be, a mid-level seeded team leading into ACC play, and it just hasn't worked out.
Yeah, they really led this one for the majority of it, all the way up until about 2 minutes left in the game. And then Boston College, about 2.5 minutes, and Boston College took off and got their largest lead of 7, which was the win in this one. When you look at the shooting, though, Boston College was pretty consistent through and through. They were 52%. They were terrible from 3-point, but throughout the field, they did a good job shooting. Notre Dame got cold. They wound up only shooting 40% from the field. Their 3 points were decent, but they didn't do a good job. And then they were pretty dreadful from the free throw line. 5 for 10. You can't have that happen. You can't miss half of your free throws. I know it's only 5 missed shots, but that's still too much. And then Boston College absolutely crushed them on the boards, 41-28. I mean, they just got beat. To be completely honest, I'm surprised they had the lead for as long as they did, because when you look at the stats and you look at actually how the game panned out, Boston College stayed with them the entire time. It was just after a while, Boston College got the best of them, and it shows in the stat line. It shows everywhere else. It's just the only plus that I can say about Notre Dame is you only had 5 turnovers. Great job. That's a fantastic stat. Stick with that one. Find a way to keep that going. But you got to find a way to win the game after having something like that. That means better shooting. It means better rebounding. There's a lot of work to do that Notre Dame and the coaching staff has to do before they continue on with their ACC play here coming up on Saturday, because they got another big game on Saturday. They got to play North Carolina, who's also finding their way back into the top 25, at least trying to.
Yeah, if as long as they're not playing Pitt, I guess they're going to be able to stay in the top 25. But you made an interesting point. They shot dreadful. They missed 3 easy layups in that last 2 or 3 minute stretch that BC went on that run. I think it was a 17-4 run. They hit their last 5 shots. So you can't miss one layup. Okay, you just can't consistently miss that. So I don't know. It's certainly not the coaching, because they have one of the better coaches in the country. I just don't. I don't know what's going on there. Now, we do need to give BC some credit. I mean, you talked about Jaden Zachary. I mean, he's a good basketball player. I mean, he's not an All-American. He's not going to probably play in the pros. Certainly not at the NBA level. But he's a good basketball player. He had, I think, a season high 18 points. That Prince Oligube, man, boy, is he going to be a force inside? But he was just tough. He was terrific, and they have a really good point guard too. Demore Langford is a really good point guard. He has good court vision. He seems to be able to anticipate a lot of the things that Notre Dame was going to do. So when he was distributing the ball and setting up plays, I mean, he really executed really, really well. But yeah, I just don't know. I'm literally, it's very rare that I'm speechless, but I mean, I really am. When I went back and watched this game, because we found out about it as we were planning, for tonight's shows, we found out that the Boston College had beat Notre Dame, I think we were both stunned then. And when we watched the game, I don't know. I mean, I'm actually concerned because I think Notre Dame in the tournament is always a good thing, and not just for ratings. I think it just adds extra interest for the casual fan. People are going to want to say, "Yeah, I want to root for Notre Dame, right? I want to watch Notre Dame because everybody knows Notre Dame is the university." So yeah, I'm a little concerned, but maybe some luck of the Irish will rub off somewhere.
As of right now, I don't know if that's a good thing if we can see a team like Notre Dame in the tournament because they just don't have the skill as of right now. They've lost 5 of their last 6 games. We're talking about them losing a game to Boston College. They lost the game against Florida State earlier this season, who's also having a surprisingly dreadful year. They're 4-11. Didn't see that one coming, to be completely honest.
Yeah, true.
It's just Notre Dame has a lot of question marks. When you lose 5 of your last 6, the only win you have in that 6-game spread is against Jacksonville. Oh, and you won by, okay, sure, you won surprisingly, but that's not a team that you want to have only as your only win in the last month, if you will. Heading into Saturday, it's an early game, 11:30 a.m., ESPN2. It's on a pretty big network, right? You're going to be right in spotlight against the Tar Heels. It's in Raleigh. It's going to be a pretty big game, in Chapel Hill, if you will. It's going to be a really big game. And to be completely honest, it's hard for me to say that Notre Dame has a shot right now against the Tar Heels.
Yeah, I just don't think they match up well. Even if things were going well for them like they were earlier in the year, I don't think you could say they would match up well against the North Carolina team. So I don't know. I mean, I guess if you like, watching massacres, maybe you might want to tune into that game. We may be being over dramatic here, but North Carolina is starting to figure it out.
They are.
And I think, again, having some of the losses that they have, I think they're a little bit chippier. They're like, no, we're much better than this. Watch us. Don't write us off like you did last year. Don't write us off. We're going to figure it out. And I think Notre Dame is, again, playing the wrong team at the wrong time.
Very good point. Let us know your thoughts in the comment description below. What do you think about the Tar Heels and what do you think about Notre Dame? What do you thought about this Boston College team getting the win? We didn't talk about them enough and they got the win. So what do you think about that one as well? This ACC conference is going to be fun as we get deeper and deeper into conference play. Hit like and subscribe while you're there. Thanks for watching SlasherU.